Okay, hello again, everyone. Hope everyone took that test yesterday and is ready. We're going to learn some factoring here, okay? So take a look here. Now, if you didn't do the test, make sure you do it and email it to me, okay? Make an answer column. Don't skip lines and show all your work. And put a heading. Some of you are not putting a heading, okay? If you don't have a heading, I can't grade it. Every paper you turn in should have a name, a date, and a period. Okay, that's called the heading. But you guys know that, right? All right, well, let's go on. Today we're going to talk about, we're trying to get into factoring, okay, since we're going to assume that everyone's going to Algebra 2. So up here, look, put prime factorization. Now, prime factorization, you got to know, first of all, you got to know your times tables. Now, if you don't know them, you need to learn them, okay? So there are programs online where you can learn them, okay? So look up here. There's something called prime numbers, okay? And there's called composite, okay? So a prime number is a number whose only factors are 1 in itself. So if you take 1, for example, well, 1 is neither prime nor composite. So it's not either one of these. So this is like a void one or neutral, okay? The 1 is an exception. And you can look that up online, make sure, okay? But they don't consider it to be prime or composite. But if you take 2, the only factors of 2 are 1 times 2. That's it. These are called factors. Okay? If you take 3, 1 times 3. That's it. But if you take 4, 4 is 1 times 4, but it's also 2 times 2. So 4 actually has 4 factors. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is called composite. Okay? So a prime number, the only factors are 1 in itself. Write that down. Prime, a prime number, only factors are 1 and itself. Okay? 1 in itself. That's it. 2 factors make it prime. Now, you might say, well, why do I need to know this? Well, because there's a process called prime factorization. I need you to know this, okay? Let me show you why I need you to know it. Let's say you have 16x squared plus 24xy. Copy that down. Now, this is a little more advanced than what I want, but this is what I want you to do. This is where we're going, okay? There are like 7 steps to factoring, and you got to learn them all. So look up here. We'll take them one by one. So you're looking to see what this term and this term have in common. So put that, common. You're looking for common, okay? What do we have in common? What do these 2 terms have in common? To do prime factorization, and I tried to tell you this once before, I think, you're trying to use all your 2's, your 3's, your 5's, your 7's, etc. All prime numbers. You start off with the 2's, then you burn up all your 2's. Then you go to 3's. Burn up all your 3's. Okay, so look up here. 2. Well, 2 times what? Well, half of 16 is 8. So 2 times 8. Now 2 is a prime number. You can't break that up anymore. 1 times 2. But this one's not. This is a composite. So you keep burning up 2's. So you go 2 times 4. But 4 is, you can break that up as 2 times 2. So circle all the prime numbers. If you circle it, it's got to be a prime number. Now watch this one. Half of that. So 2 times 12, you should know that. 2 times 6, and 2 times 3. Circle all of this. These are all prime numbers. Now this one has x times x. x times x is x squared. Now you need to know that. So put in this circle, put x and x. Okay, my fault. This one, you can't break that up anymore, so bring down the x and bring down the y. Okay, now that you have it primed out, you circle what's in common. Well, here, I have a 2 in common. Now, you could say, well, you have two 2's. No, this one has 1, this one has 1, so you take 1 out. So put greatest common factor. You take out a 2. Here's another 2. This one has a 2, this one has a 2, and they both have 1 in common, so you take 1 out. You don't take 2 of them, because you didn't say this one had 2 of them. This one has 1, this one has 1, so you take 1 out. 1, 1, take 1 out. There's no more 2's. They don't have a 3 in common. This one's got a 3, but this one doesn't. See, they both have to have it. This one has an x, so you can take an x out. So the greatest common factor is 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. The greatest common factor is 8x. Now, watch this. This is called your greatest common factor. That goes on the outside. So put 8x. Now, if you take the 8 out of that 16 and you take one of these x's, all of this is taken out except for that 2 and that x. So you're left with 2x. Look at it. 8 times 2 is 16. X times x is x squared. Okay, so when you distribute back in, you got to end up with what you started with. And we do. Watch again. Put a plus. We took all these 2's. Only thing that's left here is a 3y. So put 3y. Now watch. What's 8 times 3? 24. What's x times y? xy. That's it. This is called factor. And this is the first form of factoring that you need to know. Okay? Now I might be able to make it just a little bit brighter. All right? So I'm going to give you one to try. I'll give you a few to try. Okay? Let me see if I can get this computer here. This is my personal computer, and it's not too good. The other one is great for doing grades and everything, but I don't have the software on there yet, and I've requested it. So I'm not sure what's going to happen there. But let's go back to this now. I'm going to give you a couple of these. So write this down. Put number 1 and 2. This will be your homework. Okay, let's get brightness here. All right, let's try that. Okay, that's a little brighter. Now write this down. Put 5x squared y plus 10xy. Copy that down. Here's another one. Put 50x squared plus 30x. Copy that down. Now what you're going to do again, go back to my video, you're going to break this all the way up, and then you're going to compare and see what they have in common. All right. Now I'll do this one, but then I want you to read it. So you're going to submit both of these. I want all the work. Some of you are not turning in everything. Anything I write down, you write it down. Okay, so look up here. What numbers did I tell you to start with? Well, you start with your 2's. All right, so 2 times 25. Now 2 doesn't go again. 3 doesn't go again. 5 does. 5 times 5. And then x times x. See, it's 2 of these x's. This one is 2 times what? 15. And then 3 times 5. And then 1x. Copy that down. All right, so it's prime factored. Now you got to look to see what they have in common. This one has a 2 rather. This one has a 2. Take a 2 out. This one has a 5. This one has a 5. Take a 5 out. Do you see anything else they have? Do they have a 3? Well, this one has a 3, but not this one, so you can't take that out. What about the x's? Well, this one has 1x. This one has 1x, so you take 1 out. So 2 times 5 is 10x is called the greatest common factor. The biggest that you can take out of these. Now look at what's left. Not that, not that, not that, but 5x. So put 5x here. plus. Take out all the circles, but there's a 3. The 3 goes right there. That's your answer. Let's check it. How much is, excuse me, 10 times 5? 50. X times x? X squared. Watch again. How much is 10 times 3? 30. And then the x goes for the right. There it is. And that's called prime factorization. And this is called the greatest common. And this is step 1. Tomorrow I'll give you a worksheet on these. But today, redo this. Think about what I'm saying. You can go online and find your own worksheets if you want to do some work. Okay? But look them up and say you want the answers as well. So you're looking up factoring using the greatest common factor. And put PDF answers or with answers. And then you can work them all day if you want. But this is where we'll pick up tomorrow. Have a good morning.